Hey everyone, welcome to the I'll Be Living Life podcast. If you like the content, kindly support me by hitting the subscribe, like, and notification buttons. Today's special guest is Jessica. She's on Instagram and her handle name is wandering_Jessica_. Welcome to the show, Jessica.
Hi, Albie. Thanks for having me.
Oh no, thanks for joining me. You have lots of great shots. I love your
Oh, thank you
content.
so much. Yes,
I
it's been a lot
love,
of fun.
yeah, I love what you're doing out there, so that's great. I'm enjoying your YouTube as well, so that's really cool. Good,
Thank
yeah,
you.
good for you. We're all kind of, I guess you're kind of like my neighbor because you're in the Pacific Northwest and so am I, but I'm on the Canadian side of things and you're on the American side of things.
Right, right. We're just across the border over here.
That's right. Our weather is it's similar, right? It's very lush, very green out here. It rains a lot, but when it's nice, it's like beautiful.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. This summer has been so hot, though. I don't know if you guys were hit by the heat wave we just had, but
Oh yeah,
it's been
we
a hot one.
We had a place hit 50 something, our degrees, which I have no idea what it means in the States, but we actually hit one of the highs in North America. It was pretty hot. But
Yeah.
anyways, yeah, that town that hit that heat dome of 51, I believe it hit, or 52, it actually got decimated with a fire like a few days right after that. So,
Oh
yeah,
no.
it's so sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a major fear with that heat wave, was just it was gonna start those early summer fires.
Oh, yeah, too dry. Too dry, too
Mhm.
quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so typically I like to showcase a few of my favorite picks from my guests. Like I like a lot of your shots. So we're gonna sit down and we're gonna talk about three of these shots. We'll start with June 30th. It says Cape Disappointment Park.
Yes.
Yeah, to me, I think that's a fabulous shot. I love how kind of the sun has this little haze onto the left there. It's almost kind of a dreamy, kind of sunny look. And then you got
Yeah.
the sun off the cliff there, which gives it the yellows and the greens. I like the blues. I like the way the ocean's going as well. And the nice little light green patch on the bottom left as well. I'm a big freak for colors. So,
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead and explain that shot to me.
Oh, well, thank you so much, first of all. So that was my recent trip to kind of the border of Oregon and Washington coast. So
Hmm.
on one side of the Columbia River Gorge, you have the point of Washington, and then the other side, you have Oregon. And so this, right where this was taken, was right at the Cape Disappointment Lighthouse.
Hmm.
So if we were to turn around away from where this is, we would be looking at Oregon and the Columbia River.
Oh, very cool.
Uh, yeah, so but on this side we get to see this beautiful cape just looking right off the viewpoint of the lighthouse out there.
Yeah.
And it's one of the most popular places in that area to catch sunset for obvious reasons. You have
Yes.
the sun dropping right in front of you and then it bounces off those gorgeous cliff walls. And yeah, it was really such a great timing on that. And
Yeah.
a clear day in Washington is always a treat.
Not so disappointing if you ask me.
Right.
Yeah. So the next shot, let's go June 22nd. It says Ecola Coastal Vibes, I believe it says there. I love this shot. I love the fog in the background behind the rocks. I love the capture of it. Looks like it's kind of a windy day because of the way the ocean's coming in. And yeah, it's a little bit ominous, I guess, because the clouds are behind all those rocks. Yeah, go ahead and talk about that shot.
Yes, so this is on the Oregon coast, further away from that first shot.
Hmm.
So this is more typical of like what you'll find on the Oregon coast. It's very moody weather, so you'll get some sun breaks, but there's typically always those heavy dark clouds hanging over. So it was really lucky to catch it both with that sun peeking through and but those heavy rain clouds coming in just reminding you like this is not
Yeah.
a tropical coastline. This is you're definitely in the Pacific Northwest.
Yes, I love our coast. I love Washington's coast. I love Oregon's coast. Like I've driven down there many times. So, although I haven't hiked in either Washington or Oregon, which I plan to do one day, but yeah, I've never done a hike down there, and I plan to do a couple of them. So, we'll.
Oh yeah, they're so rewarding. I mean, you can see such a unique perspective of the coastline by taking hikes through there and a lot of
Yeah,
old growth forests that peek out over those cliff edges and yeah,
yeah.
really, really beautiful.
Have you done any hikes up where we are?
I have not actually.
Okay.
That is on my list for sure.
Yeah, we all have our list, right?
I know, the never-ending list.
The never-ending list. So we have the last picture I want to talk about is a waterfall. This is dated back a while ago. I really like this waterfall. I don't know how you feel, but when I'm taking pictures of waterfalls, I don't think it does it any justice.
It never does.
Yeah, right. And when you're there, you're like, wow, the beauty of it, the power of it, and all that, right? It's just so, to me, it's jaw dropping. It's like the big awe factor sort of thing. But when you look at a picture like this, I already know it looks pretty amazing, and I could see how small the people are down there. So I know it's a huge waterfall, but it doesn't do it any justice. But it's still a great shot. I love the oranges around there, and I love how you did the long exposure with the water. Yeah, go ahead and explain that shot a bit.
This is a really fun one. So this was on day 15 of a rafting trip I was doing through the Grand Canyon.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah, so this was like our most anticipated hike. We hiked in from the Colorado River to Havasu Falls, which is this one we're seeing here. And like you said, it does no justice because those cliff walls are enormous, and they kind of tower over you, and they kind of dome over you where that waterfall pours. So it was really beautiful. And that blue, that is not edited at all. There's a mineral in that canyon that actually causes the water to turn blue, and then a lot of the rocks on the bottom to turn white. So it really makes that water color pop. And then obviously that beautiful rock from the Grand Canyon itself is just,
yeah, I love
it
that.
doesn't do it justice.
Yeah, I bet you those crevices in there, because judging by how small you are in this picture, I'm looking at those crevices, and those things pretty much just tower over you or consume you, I guess, right? They look pretty, they look small in the picture, but I'm sure they're like at least a couple stories tall for some of them.
Oh yeah, scaling it down to how big we are, like it just gives you an idea of how big that actually is. And swimming up to the bottom of that waterfall, you feel just the power dumping off of it. It throws you back, and that was really fun because we got to play in there, and really special place.
Yeah, I did the Brandywine Falls here with my buddy MFJ. We went to Brandywine Falls, and I went right up to the falls like this as well. And the spray back off that waterfall was enormous. Like it was like a torrential rain. Like it was just crazy. I can't even explain it. Like I got drenched. And I was probably about 15 yards away from that thing, and I literally just got soaked.
It really reminds you of how much power is coming from behind that water.
Oh, yeah, and that's just the mist.
So heavy.
Yeah. Is it really cold? Was the water really cold? Because it was where we went.
It was cold water, but it was Arizona, so it was warm weather. Cold water, warm weather. So we dried out fairly quickly on our way back.
Okay, gotcha. So I noticed that you have a YouTube. Now I'm a subscriber as well. And thank you for subscribing to my channel.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I love how you talk about some of your Pacific Northwest hikes and all that. And you kind of give a description. Some of it you play music to, but showing the hike, and I also love that the fact that you say you like to pick up garbage. Well, I'm not saying you like to pick up garbage, but along the hike, you like to pick up one piece of garbage if you see it, or something that didn't belong or whatever. Good for you for that.
Yes, hope to encourage other people to keep that in mind when they're out.
Oh, yeah.
Even one piece makes a difference.
Yeah, most definitely. And I don't like the people that kind of leave their garbage around anywhere, let alone like out in nature, right? So good for you. And yeah, you showcase a lot of hikes, so I like that. I hope a lot of my viewers can go and jump on your YouTube and kind of follow you there as well. Give Jessica a follow on YouTube, and her link is also under her profile, so it'll go straight to her YouTube page, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, it sure will.
So you've done all these hikes. Like I've done a lot of hikes in British Columbia, around the Vancouver area. And have you seen any like bears or cougars or wildlife that you should be fearful of or anything like that?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I've actually had 2 bear encounters just this year.
Wow.
So yeah, well, and I grew up way out, kind of in the boondocks in Washington. So I grew up hiking and playing in the woods. So yeah, they are definitely out there. The most notable one just happened just at the end of June. We were out camping by Mount Adams. Mm-hmm. And we had a bear actually come through our camp at 3 a.m. and he tore into there was some dog food in a coffee can that had been left out. We hadn't put it
Oh,
away.
yes. You know what? I saw you post
Yep.
that. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
So that was very scary situation.
Yeah.
But thank goodness we had our dogs with us and they woke us up and like let us know what was going on.
Yeah.
Um,
I
so
did
they are
see
for
that.
sure out there. And yeah, so if you're in bear country, take all the precautions because it can happen to anyone.
Oh,
You
most
never know where they're going to be.
most definitely. Like I have black bears coming through my backyard all the time. We have trails all around me, so there's always black bears and little cubs walking through. And of course, you gotta look out
Oh
for
my
mama
gosh.
bear, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, and I actually had a black bear stand straight up and kind of went face to face with me. But luckily, I was at my front door, and I was like, "Oh, oh hell no!" So I closed the door. I'm like, "Do
Yeah.
whatever the hell you want to do. I don't really care." Because when
Like
I
I'm gonna go in.
yeah, because when I opened the door, I heard a lot of rummaging going around and a lot of noise, and I was like, "What the heck is going on out there?" So, and this was late at night. This was like 1:30 in the morning. So actually walked out there, and I was confronting it if it was like somebody trying to break in or something, right? And when I
Hmm.
saw the bear, I was like, "Oh, hey, like, what are you doing?" And then it actually walked up my stairwell, stood up, and met me face to face at about,
Oh my
I would
gosh.
say, 10 yards, but I had the door right in front of me. But if I tripped, I would have been dead. But anyways, I
Oh my
didn't.
goodness.
And I shut the door and I said, go ahead, do whatever you want.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
never mind, I'll go back in.
Yeah. But I've seen, like, in this area, like this year alone, I believe I've seen about 5 bears already.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
usually black bears kind of just leave you alone, but they are still wild animals, and
Yes.
they do attack. It's rare, but they do attack. So you're right, Jessica. It's always better to err on the side of caution, right? And
Yes. Well, in this season, this is the season where they're kind of low on food, right? We're
yeah,
getting to hotter part of the summer, so there's just going to be less for them to forage. So being extra cautious with our food waste is
yes.
very important.
And always carry like bells with you if you can have a bear bell, or if you have pepper spray or bear spray. And
Oh
always kind
yeah.
of keep talking when you're going through trails, because the last thing you don't want to do is surprise these bears.
Oh, so true.
And that's it. If you don't surprise them, they should be pretty good most of the time. Unless it's a grizzly, then you're done. Anyways,
Good thing we don't have grizzly
yeah,
around here.
that's right. Oh, we do up a little bit further where we are.
Oh,
There's
you
been
do.
some grizzlies, yeah.
Oh
So
my goodness.
about an hour and a half from here, and I've been on a couple hikes where there was grizzly warnings. And yeah, those are pretty. Yeah, you get pretty nervous going up to the top, and
Oh yeah.
oh yeah. But anyways, okay. So, do you have any questions for me?
So I know you get the question a lot,
Hmm.
but it really is about hashtags. I try to research them and try to make smart choices, but I always feel like it's kind of a guessing game.
Hmm.
And I'll even follow the lead of some bigger creators than me who are very similar, and I just won't seem to get the same performance.
Hmm.
And so I'm really just wondering like what I can be doing better to have better performance on my posts and get it in front of more people who might enjoy it.
For sure. So, for those that don't know, I've recently done an episode about all the tips on Instagram. So, by all means, go and check that out. I talk about like every little bit of building on Instagram, whether it's posting pictures, what days to post, all that stuff, and hashtags, and and editing and all that kind of junk. And yeah, if you're interested, go check it out. But yeah, hashtags. One is you get 30 hashtags, so use all 30, right?
Mhm.
I would suggest always use about two large hashtags. And what I mean by large is something that has a million posts to about a million to 2 million posts, but I wouldn't go anything higher than that. And then I would do
Okay.
about 26 of them. I would do medium. So medium is anywhere from like, I would say 250,000 to about 750,000 or 800,000. Those are considered medium posts or hashtags.
Okay.
And then you use two small ones. Two small ones is usually anywhere from 50K to about 250K. The reason being, because say for instance, if you use a hashtag that's got like, I don't know, 200 million posts on there, no one's going to see your picture because it's just going to go in and it's going to bounce out. You won't even be able to stay on that page. What you're trying to do is you're trying to stay on there. You're trying to stay on their top, I would say their top 20. But realistically, you want to be in their top 9. So when you open a page, such as like right now, I'm going to go under one of your hashtags, you put travel girls. So that's got 999,000 posts, right? And for me, that's considered kind of a larger one. And then you look at, once you open that hashtag, you see the top, I guess it's on my phone, you see the top 10 basically with a reel on the left-hand side. So these top 10 are getting lots of exposure, right? Because they're the top 10. So if you land on that, you're actually laughing because now lots more people are going to see your hashtag, your picture. So you want to get the ones that are not too crazy high, because once you go too crazy high, then you're just going to go, your picture's going to go in and it's just going to bounce right back out. It'll be on there for a split second and then nobody's going to see it. But I'm looking at the ones that you're using right now on this most recent post, and they look okay. They don't look like they're, like, you got one, Mindful Living, that's 1.9 million. So that's a lot. That's a rather high one, right? Everything else seems to be on the high end. And then you got Never Stop Exploring, 27.6 million posts on there. Your picture the chances of your picture landing on their top 20 are almost next to none.
Okay.
Yeah. But if you land on it, then you're laughing. Then your picture's going to get like thousands and thousands of likes because, get lucked out and you get to put it on there, and then, lots of people see it. Your waterfalls of Instagram, 559,000. That's not bad.
So what is the trick to getting to landing in that top 9, top 10 spot on these hashtags? Is there a trick?
There really isn't a trick. Like, I've tried to play around with the algorithms a little bit. So sometimes you want to try early in the morning, see if it lands and hits on those things. And what I would do is, like I said, you should use all 30 hashtags, right? And not sure if you've been using all 30, just by the looks at some of these, maybe you're not. It looks like, are you using about 10 or 20?
I was using 15.
Okay.
I was using 30, and then I heard to use less, and you kind of hear a lot of mixed information.
Yeah. So I would use all 30. There's I've tried it all as well, and it seems to work for me. I get anywhere from about 1,200 to about 3,000 likes per photo, so it seems to work. And then you kind of just play with your hours. So maybe put it like first thing in the morning, like maybe at 8 in the morning. You can also look at your insights and find out when you have the most viewers on there. And the more traction you get, the more these hashtags are going to post you up on their top 9 or 10. So the trick with that is also, once you post up a picture, so say for instance your most recent picture of you staring at the waterfall, you could look at those hashtags that you did here. So once you look at your hashtags, so you post it up, and then 1 hour later, go into each of your hashtags and go look at if you landed in their top 20. And if you didn't, give them like 2 or 3 times. Like, I would keep a list of maybe about, obviously you got to make it relevant. So if you're going to do waterfalls, and you're going to make waterfall hashtags, right? And if you're going to do Pacific Northwest stuff, then you kind of make those hashtags. And if you're doing hiking, you got to do those hashtags. So then you kind of mix them all up. And I would keep it on, like, I keep all mine on my notes on my phone. So this way it's just copy and paste, and I can post it up in no time. It takes me less than, I'd say, 2 minutes to post up all my hashtags, because I can do a little write up, and then I do the dots down. So I drag all my, and you can see it on my Instagram feed. When I post up, I put something on, and then I do all these drop down dots, and then I put my hashtags on the bottom, so it makes it look a little cleaner. An hour later, I would go and check out these hashtags and see if they put me on their top 20. So if they don't put you on your top 20, give them like 2-3 chances or whatnot, and then take that out. If they're not supporting you or promoting you, take them out. Like, okay. You know what I mean? Like, change them out.
Yeah. I've never done that before. That's a great tip.
Yeah, and just put something new in there. Just put in a whole new hashtags. And I mean, you can look at and you can play around with it. You can keep like 25 of them and just change out 5 of them, and just keep doing that. And then once you get the hang of it, then you can kind of interchange them all the time, because once you get like a list of, I don't know, 60 to 120 of them, you can kind of play around with those and keep track of them in your notes on your phone or whatever, and then just copy and paste, and it's pretty fast. Like you can get it going pretty quick. So yeah, that's my advice with hashtags. It's one of the trickiest things for sure on Instagram.
Yeah.
And once you get that figured out, it becomes a little bit easier.
Okay.
Yeah, I find that you get more followers if you just become more engaged, and just like thanking people for liking your photo and commenting on your photo. Also like back photos that, the followers that liked your photos. Like back some of their photos,
sure.
right? If there's a great photo out there, comment on it. And I feel that engagement is the biggest part of building.
I would agree on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really try. The people that support me, I appreciate them so much. So I always try to make sure I'm giving that support back. I think
Yeah.
we're all trying to grow here, and we're all putting ourselves and what we create out there. So I think
Exactly.
it's important to support each other.
100%. And you'll do fine just thinking that.
Thanks.
Yeah. So anyways, for my viewers and my followers, if you're not following Jessica, give her a follow. She goes by WANDERING_JESSICA_ on Instagram. And thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. So for the rest of you, if you can kindly support me by hitting the subscribe, like, and notification buttons. And that's it for this week, and we'll catch you guys next week.